Greetings, this is Ron Smalek, and I am reading The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. It is an excellent book. I'm reading it after having watched the movie, and I wanted to record some of my thoughts chapter by chapter.
Alright, so for chapters 21 and 22, in chapter 21, Katniss is taking stock of her situation before she goes to the feast, and we find out that she only has 9 arrows left. She spends some time with Peeta, and basically she realizes that he's asleep and she has to leave him, and that everyone's probably watching her, so she gives him kind of a fake kiss, wipes away a fake tear, and she reiterates to herself that the kissing that they've been doing over the past couple days has been for the cameras and not actually real. So she's still struggling with what's going on in her mind. She gets to the cornucopia where the feast is supposed to be, and of course Foxface comes running out of the cornucopia, which causes Katniss to reevaluate Foxface as a competitor, because she's very sneaky, very smart, very wily, which I thought was great. She's got this mixture of admiration and frustration for her. Of course, at this point, she thinks about Thresh. And what's interesting is she gets attacked by Clove, and Clove is the girl, I think, from District 1, and Cato's the boy from District 2, if I've got that right in my memory. So Clove attacks her, Thresh comes and basically kills Clove, and I thought the most interesting thing about this part was that neither of those characters know Katniss's name. Again, reinforcing that these tributes don't know each other unless they've, allied themselves together. So that was interesting. And Thresh finds out that, of course, Katniss teamed up with Rue, and so he lets her go. And this is where, when Katniss gets back to Peeta, this is where the whole message gets reinforced around owing someone for a favor that they did you, and that Katniss takes this honor very seriously. So Katniss got a cut, and she's losing a lot of blood. She gets back to the cave and basically passes out. And the interesting thing, I don't understand what the significance of this, so I'm going to keep an eye out for it. If anyone knows, let me know. But right as she's about to pass out, the last line basically says that she sees a green and silver moth landing on her wrist. And I don't know what that is. I don't think we've seen a green or silver moth at any point previously. As for chapter 22, I'm going to give you my first 2 notes, and then I'm going to go and finish reading that, so you will see possibly a brief change of scenery in the background. The first 2 notes that I have in this chapter is that Peeta is now pampering Katniss, so it's sort of a turnabout, and Katniss finally gets an emotional release. Just the stress of everything that has happened to her, she gets to momentarily vent. Alright, so additionally, in chapter 22, we see the first kiss, quote-unquote, that Katniss and Peeta are both fully aware of. Neither of them are disoriented or sick at the moment. Right after that, we find out that it is raining, torrential downpour. I didn't mention this, but in prior chapters it was very hot and then very cold, and I think the game masters were messing around with the temperature and the weather to try to draw the tributes out. In fact, I'm picturing kind of in my mind, and I'm curious what was going on between Cato and Thresh at this point. I can't remember if they both make it to the end of the book or not. We shall see. But I have a feeling that they're like having this epic battle out in the grasslands or something, and the thought occurred to me that that'd be kind of a cool comic book to see in parallel to the books or movie. Both Peeta and Katniss are pretty exhausted at this point, and the next quote from the book is, "The most exciting thing either of us do is nap." So the author can write the highs and also write the lows with equal measure. Peeta explains that he's had a crush on Katniss since the age of 5, and he also reveals that his father originally wanted to marry Katniss's mother. I don't remember if that was in the movie or not, but that is kind of interesting, especially when they talk about the fact that the reason that Katniss's mother married Katniss's father is because of his singing voice, and that Peeta's first memory and what made him fall in love or crush on Katniss was her song on the first day of school. So they have a little tender moment there, and clunk outside comes a feast from their sponsors, and it is the feast that Katniss had described in her interview with Caesar. So Hamish has come through after they did more than just kiss for soup, shared a moment, they got a feast. I'm glad that they didn't go any farther, because I hope this is the last I talk about relationships till the end of the book, but we shall see.